All right, here's our first two movements of our competitive show 2024 Upside Down. A big round of applause. The first and second movements of Upside Down. Keep the horns down, drum majors. Bandities. We're going to transition over to pregame off the field. Now, as they're moving, each time you see the show, there should be some additional elements. You may have seen kind of some mimicked movements or pantomime movements of things spinning. So we have some amazing props that are being built right now. I want to recognize our prop building parents. Miss Jody Nardella. Miss Nardella, are you here? Mr. Sean Egan. Miss Jennifer Nader. Mr. Nick Diaz Sr. And I'm sure there are other prop parents that I'm not remembering, but I just saw them recently. They're really cool. I've got these trees they're going to turn upside down. It's super cool. And we have A-frame, 10 by 10 A-frame props that'll be framing the band. The choreography that you saw earlier, many of those elements and more will be added in. We have color guard, flags, and more choreography coming. So hopefully each time you see it, we'll have some new elements. as we're continuing to get set on the in the side 2 end zone there, you already met Mr. Brian Hillhouse. Some other people to introduce you to. We have a great student teacher from University of Illinois, Mr. Yanni Ovalle. Proud Joliet Central alum. We have an amazing color guard, and they are taught by Miss Bridget Brogan, who's not here tonight. Miss Cassie Pearson also out, but Miss Sam Kowalski is here, and she's also student teaching with us in the English department. We have a wonderful marching band staff. Miss Sarah Johnson-Dennis has been doing phenomenally, assisting the directors in everything we do. And of course, her day job is orchestra director at Meadow Ridge and Century. So give Miss Johnson-Dennis a big round of applause. New to our staff this year, Samberg alum, U of I Marching Illini alum, and Boston Crusader drum corps alum, Mr. Kevin Kemple. You might also know him as director of bands at Century Junior High and at Meadow Ridge. Our percussion, 2 excellent teachers, Mr. Jason Swanson. I think he is out with the drum line right now. And Mr. Nathan Bailey is pulling double duty at Lockport tonight, but he'll be back with us next week. So give Mr. Nathan Bailey a round of applause. I see our awesome music booster president up there, Mrs. Jean Alvarez. Give Mrs. Alvarez a big round of applause. Right back there, burning the candle at about 8 different ends. Mrs. Elise Waymeyer, former Music Booster president, but she's now running social media and photography for us. I think she's right out there. And I know, last but not least, he's super busy, but our awesome principal, Dr. Derek Smith. I saw him earlier. Don't know if Dr. Smith was out. He said he was going to try to swing by, but longtime friend of the program. We have 2 amazing student drum majors, Mr. Nasser Danoun and Miss Brooke Chopek. They do a fantastic job of leading the band. We also have had 2 college students or alums coming back. Mr. Avery Danowski, recent graduate of the University of Illinois, Marching Illini. And I think he left to go to the University of Michigan, but Mr. Anthony Galan was in helping us on drumline as well. Mrs. Alvarez, is it a fair statement that we could maybe use more parent volunteers? We got a lot of things coming up, guys. We've got to drive equipment trucks, we've got to move the band, we've got to have uniform parents and water parents. Mrs. Nardella, maybe prop parents if they're interested in learning more. So there's something for everyone. It's a big team effort. So if you're not involved already, we'd love to see you. But I know that's not why you're here. Tonight you're here to see your students. So we already saw our first part of our competitive show. Now we're going to show you some of our pregame. It is not a finished product yet, like halftime, but it is coming along. So this is what you'll see before the football games, starting in a few weeks. So here we go. Now let's all stand up for Samberg. And now, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and join the Marching Eagles in the singing and playing of our national anthem. Big round of applause for your 2024 Marching Eagles. And here again, you can expect to see some added elements as the season continues. Now we're going to ask our Marching Eagles, that was a pretty good run, band. Let's go back and reset that off the field again. And you know, I think there's one thing we're missing, band, don't you? And I think that is to have some of your family and friends march along with your favorite Marching Eagle. So feel free to come on down. Now you are not playing your student's instrument, sorry. The students need to save and hold on to their instruments, but you're welcome to march with them. Nothing anybody has to do, don't want anybody pull a hamstring or anything, but love to have you down if you can make it. A couple more brief commercials while we're waiting. We do have our marching band bowling night next Monday at Palos Lanes. If you are a marching band parent, hopefully you received at least one email with the link to the Google form. There is still time to sign up. You just sign up on the Google form. The cost is $15. That gets you 2 or 3 games of bowling, depending what you can get into the 5:30 to 7:45 time frame. It gets you shoe rental, and it also gets you pizza. If your last name is A through L, we also ask those students to please bring a side dish. If your student's last name is M, Mary through Z, they can bring a dessert. That would be great. And the masses are assembling. A couple other commercials. Our drum line did a very nice job this week playing out at Night Out Against Crime. And we're going to play again next Wednesday morning as we welcome our incoming freshmen to Sandburg, a tradition of having the drumline play as the incoming freshmen get off the bus. So hopefully your percussionist student has mentioned that to you. All right, we are assembling our final folks over there.